Rabbi Katz. How are you?
Hey Malcolm, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
All right, long time no see. We're back in the saddle, I guess.
It's good to be back.
That's good. And let's go. We all remember the system. Just make sure you announce the title of the paragraph because we're starting a new section. And then go ahead and give me your first paragraph, and then we're gonna go back and start and stop like we usually do. Go ahead.
Okay. The different areas of the temple correspond to the different orders of existing beings. I will now begin to explain the design of the temple in detail, area by area, corner by corner. First, a number of general principles governing the overall design. The entire design of the temple is based on a great secret that stands at the very summit of the universe. I have already told you how this house emerged from the intensity of blissful tranquility that came about when the two great lights, Tiferet and Malchut, were joined as one. It was then that there appeared in the lower light Malchut the sanctuary, Heichal, and his chambers and the other glorious buildings from which all the king's servants and officers receive their portions, each in its proper place with no disorder and no exceptions.
How would you feel if you were to write an essay on this right now? How would you feel about writing an essay based on where you believe we're going to be in about an hour from now?
I think I could write maybe the introductory part of it.
Right. The point is, it's going to get a lot clearer. The English is very hard to crack, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's very terse language.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know the word. I don't even understand a word of what you said. So let's go ahead now and break it down for real. Remember, go ultra slow and look for me to start and stop you on a dime. All right?
Okay.
Even reread the title. Okay.
Okay. The different areas of the temple
Hamakomot b'mikdash. Go ahead.
correspond to the different orders of existing beings.
Neged klalus hanimsoyim. So how did you translate that?
To the different orders of existing beings.
I don't know what that means. Neged klalus hanimsoyim. Klalus. It's the klal. It's like the klal of everything that's found.
Okay.
So it's how did it correspond to the? No, I thought you said something different. No, it's klalus hanimsayim, the klal. How do you say the klal? Actually, but this is very interesting. In the Talmud tractate Sukkah, I think 41, 42. It's right at the time that we're in, based on the counting of the Omer. The third temple descends from heaven, Meshuchlal. And Meshuchlal means like you know how like a horse is born and it hits the ground running. So the temple's ready to go. So Neged Klalus Meshuchlal. It doesn't always have to mean general. Neged Klalus. Yeah, it's not general. It's what it is it's almost like categorical, right? But it's like, Adam and Eve were 20 years old when they were born, right? When they were made, according to the Midrash. So they were like the archetype of male female, right? So it's that kind of thing. I guess it's how do you say it? Archetype? I always get that word wrong.
Yeah, archetype.
I say archetype, but it's an archetype. It's the archetypes of creation. So it's in their dafka, like hitting the ground running. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a proper thing. It's the divine creation. So the places in the temple corresponding to the klalus hanimsoyim. You see what I'm saying? It's very mature. That's my point I want to make. It's the mature grouping of everything in creation. Okay. So I'm making this up at this point, but let's say there's phones and pagers and WhatsApp. There's a bigger thing called communication. See what I'm saying?
Right, archetype was a good way of describing it.
Right. So there's I'm just making this up for context, right? That there's a place in the temple called communication. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. So go ahead.
Okay. I will now begin to explain the design of the temple in detail.
Wait, that's weird. How's that? Asa achal lefar. 1 second. I will now. The word in Hebrew is va'asa. I think it's. I think it's now. It's like I'm coming to. It's still different. Achal. That's an interesting word. Let me look that up. Remember, rule number 1: we don't guess. We don't guess. How's he say it? I will now begin. Yeah, I think I did this in my Midrash Shlomo translation today. Very similar word. I think it comes from the word like techila, like to begin, like achal. So it's just an interesting word to use it that way. Literally, I saw it in my Midrash Shlomo today. So like, I'm coming to begin to explain mishpate habayit ber hativ. So the word mishpate, I'm going to explain the mishpate habayit ber hativ. Explained very well. What does it mean, mishpate habayit? Very interesting. And so we were in the Torah of Hashem group the other night, and there's you know where Abraham is talking to God about the wicked of Sodom and Gomorrah, and you know how does the Art Scroll translate it? It would be sacrilegious for you to do this thing to kill these people. So the word there is mishpat, like you are the judge who does mishpat. But when God does it, it's not. There's a Rashi on this. This is what we taught about. That God doesn't do judgment. God does justice. Right? So I'm now going to explain the justice of the house very well. But why would he use
design? Right.
No, not even that. Why would the Ramchal call it mishpate?
Right.
Mishpate. Well, so what does justice mean, or maybe judgment mean? It's the well, there's some that, and then another thing in Mishlei class, Solomon calls mishpat in the Aramaic translation it's din, and we said din was money and soul. Right? It's retribution, like the restitution. It's the judgment. It's the currency of creation, right? So now I'm going to explain mishpate habayit. I would say let's continue reading, and it looks like I would hope he has to unpack for us what this mishpat thing means.
Is it like what I'm thinking of when you need to judge? You need to make a differentiation and correct quantities and ratios.
That's
distinguish one from the other.
That's what I'm saying. But we got to see exactly where he wants to go. So we're going to revisit this word mishpate habayit. Go ahead.
Area by area.
Okay.
Corner by corner.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah.
In brackets I have here, first, a number of general principles governing the overall design.
No, keep going.
The entire design of the temple is based on a great secret.
Stop. Ki kulam omdim besod gadol. Ki kulam omdim. Now, what does kulam mean? Is it going on the judgments, or is it on the places in the corners? Or both? Makon makon lapana lapana. Ki kulam omdim. Keep going. I think he's building up crescendo here. He's not explaining what these words mean. Go ahead.
Okay. That stands at the very summit of the universe.
Toloyim baromo shel oilam. that they're held in the height of the universe. That's Mazel. Mazel is that. If you hear in the Shargo Gulam Shir, that the goodness, the brachas of the world are held in Mazel, which is above. So kikulam oimdim besod gadol toluyim baromu sha'olam. He's really, I don't know, he's being vague. Keep going.
I have already told you how this house emerged from the intensity of blissful tranquility.
I've already told you how it is understood. I want to. This word is bugging me. I saw this somewhere recently. I want to know what otzim means. I don't know if I want to rely on just essence. This was I saw it somewhere last couple of days, and I was lying to myself saying I know what it means. But remember rule number 2: don't lie to yourself. Otzim. This obviously have to be etzim. Let's see here. Okay. What? Yeah, that's what I thought. It doesn't have to be essence. I thought this. It means to become strong or powerful. Now I gotta remember where I saw that word. Where did I see it? It was I was in Kol Torah. Make a note to myself on that. What does it mean? It means to become strong, powerful, mighty. Okay. So now that we know that, okay, close the book there. And now, how is understood otzim, like the strong or mighty. See, isn't that a better word than essential?
Yeah, definitely.
What was the word he used?
I believe, I'm guessing it's intensity. Is that where?
Yeah. He used it as intensity. That's that intensity is more O's, ayin zayin. See, I would say it's eich mavin, how it is understood, the strength, hamanucha of the great rest that comes. Yatsa zeh. What does that mean? Yatsa zeh. That's a weird way. Yatsa zeh habayit. Yatsa zeh. What does that mean? Yatsa. That's weird. He's really weird wording this weird. Ich mavin otzam hamanucha hagadula yatsa. Wait, whoa, I think he's giving a big Kiddush here. Hold on a second. Ich mavin otzam hamanucha hagadula yatsa zeh. This requires some meditation. Hold on. Yatsa zeh. Yeah, exactly. He's saying the temple. Yatsa zeh, yatsa, eich mavin otzam, hamenucha hagedola, yatsa. It goes out. It says yatsa. Yatsa zeh habayit. There it is. He's saying the temple is the great menucha and the strength. So it's not. He's not saying it's a design. He's saying it is the temple. I guess you could say it's the design. I mean, I don't know. You call it the forest and the trees, whatever that whole idiom is. It's the temple, though. You know what I'm saying? He's saying it's the temple is what's bringing out this menucha gedola, not just how it is on the inside. Go ahead.
That came about when the two great lights were joined as one.
So, see, that's what I'm saying. He's talking about the temple is a condition. I mean, at this point, it's going to have a shtalshalis into this world. But he's saying there are two great lights above. When they, I'm guessing Yesod Malchus, we'll see, right? When they go together, this Menucha Gedola comes out, and it's called the Habayit. And in that bite, there's many places where the essence of creation is found. It's held in Mazel. I mean, he's talking very high right now. This is not a building that you're gonna have a swinging door. Okay, so Mishpate Habayit. So we have no idea why he's using that word. Keep going.
It was then that there appeared in the lower light the sanctuary.
Ki az niru l'ma'or hatachton ha'heichel. Then it appeared l'ma'or hatachton, to bestow light, to appear to the lower light a chamber. Go ahead. And v'chadarim, and rooms.
And its chambers and the other glorious buildings from which all the king's servants and officers receive their portions.
Binyanim amaforim asher mehem mekablim kol ha'avdim kol pakidei hamelech. Go ahead.
Each in its proper place, with no disorder and no exceptions.
Yeah, he's talking about the Sphira Malchus becoming illuminated.
Right.
But he's talking about it up there. And Malchus becomes the temple, Habayit. Like when Yesod is in Malchus, Malchus is a temple. Like if you were to ask me, hey, what does Malchus look like when the Gemar Tikkun is done and Yesod and Malchus are one? According to this, I would say it looks like the temple. So, Mishpate Habayit. It's still a little vague why it's called Mishpat. I would say it's the justice of the house. Because like he's saying, everyone gets their portion.
So it's justice, right?
Yeah. It's justice that it's just it's a perfect working world. Right? Malchus perfected. Go ahead.
Okay, the temple consists of three main areas after the emergence of the channels and highways.
Wait a minute. V'shlosha makaimis nimsa'u b'bayis. 3 places are found in the house. Achar tseis hadrachim hamasilis. Wait, read it again.
The temple consists of 3 main areas after the emergence of the channels and highways.
Achar tseis hadrachim v'hamasilis. So 3 places come out in the temple after the coming out of the ways and the masilas. So it's almost like the pathway is like an embryo. So there's a formation. Go ahead.
Extending from the great stone that I mentioned at the beginning.
Hamispashtis min ha'evin ha'gedola asher zacharti b'rishoina. So Malchus, Pashtis min ha'evin. So in the house was a stone. Now the Bahir says this stone is called Dar. Remember that? Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
So the base of Mitish below with Evan Shtia, it mirrors that what. Oh, that's interesting because Hadar is the 8th king of Edom that didn't die, that builds Atzilis. So Dar is the stone, and we know that Malchus is Dar.
Right.
So I think what we're saying is that when God, wow, that's pretty awesome. It's kept it revealed in Malchus because when the Sphirot come into our world, meaning when God emanates, there's 10 Sphirot, right? And generally we say they all have a quality of, Keter, Chachma, whatever. So what we're saying now, how does God emanate the Beis Hamikdash? Is Malchus is different than all the other spheres because there's just a little bit of this stone in Malchus. And we know that Malchus is close to physicality, right? And it's where the klippas come. So he wants to say that Malchus has a little bit of something in it. It's almost like I'm going to dramatize this a little bit. Try to use your imagination, okay? If I have 9 paints of white, and then in Malchus, it looks like a chicken egg that you crack open. Can you see now how the yellow will affect all the different 9 white above it? Imagine the yellow doesn't run out. Imagine it's without end, right? So God buries a stone in Malchus, but God chooses to reveal it or not reveal it. I mean, God doesn't have to reveal it. You see what I'm saying? It's in Malchus, but that's why Malchus is not redeemed. It's that's the whole task. So we never are aware of Malchus. So God has a treasury in Malchus ready to go. When Malchus is impregnated from Yesod, that stone is hit and becomes it's the illumination stone of the temple. Go ahead.
Question for you. I thought the axiom was that Malchus has nothing of its own. I'm trying to wrap my head around Malchus having a piece of the stone, so to speak.
It's God's stone. He stores it in Malchus. It doesn't belong to Malchus. Really, if anything, it belongs to Yesod.
Okay, now I'm getting a little more. Okay.
Yeah.
These 3 areas are the places of the 3 orders of created beings.
V'heim makaimis legimel mine brius nimsayim ba'olam. Okay, the 3 places come out. Okay, let's go.
The first order includes all the external creations.
Hamin harishon hu klal kol habrius hachitzainis. Okay.
The creatures of this world, from the largest to the smallest, without exception.
Brius ha'olam hazeh lemigdal v'ad hakatam. Lo nifgad mehem ish. Yeah.
The second consists of all the angels at their appointed posts, ready to carry out the service of the king.
I'm guessing what, Asiya, Yitzira, keep going.
The third consists of the souls of the children of Israel, the holy seed, a unique people on earth.
Bria. Okay, so it's Asiya, Yitzira, and Bria, 3 worlds. Because they're coming out of Itzilus. Keep going.
The corresponding places in the temple are the main sanctuary building.
So the Heichel, what is the Heichel again? Heichel's like where the menorah is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know which. Okay, then there's the keep going.
Together with the Holy of Holies and the vestibule.
Keep going.
This is the innermost part of the temple, the place of the souls.
Okay. See, that's what he said. That's not actually true. It just says Zeh Pnimi Lifnei Lifnim. So he tells you it's the souls. So the souls are there. So the Dvir is the angels. Makes sense. And the Heichel is the animals. Asiya. Go ahead.
The temple courtyards, i.e. the upper or inner courtyard, and the lower or outer courtyard.
Chutz lo shtei hazaris tachtoina v'ilyoina. Okay, go ahead.
The rest of the Temple Mount, the place of the creatures of this world.
V'chutz lazaris har habayit. Okay.
You must understand that these angels require 2 kinds of sustenance.
V'tzarich shetida ki alamachim tzarich beis minei shefa.
One, for their own subsistence, and a second, to hand on to the creatures over which they are appointed.
Harishon lekiyum atzmim, ve'asheni hu shefa haniten lehem lefi avodasam la'asos, lateta labriya shenifkadu aleihim. So angels receive shefa. Interesting. That's a nice way. That's a very interesting way to view angels, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not what I didn't think of it like that before.
So an angel, I can understand why the angel should receive shefa for us. But why does the angel need shefa for himself?
Right, that's what I don't get.
Beis minei shefa rishon lekiyum atzmim. So there, if the angel, right, let's see how this works. So there's a tzilus, rectified yesod in Malchus. The shefa comes through. The base of Mikdash is built in Malchus, right? And then it's going to come into Bria. And so in Bria, there's the souls. But those souls are enclosed in bodies. So the souls, the Malchus knows what to give according to the souls. That's the whole thing. It has to be true. So then it goes into Yetzirah, and the angels first receive their shefa. And then, as we know, Yesod, or Yetzirah Yesod, has to give to Malchus. So the angelic world passes through our world, and that's why I think it's the Temple Mount with the Evan Shtia. So the world of Yetzirah would have to pass through the Evan Shtia, as it is said in Kabbalah, right? All the shefa comes from Jerusalem. And then there's 70 ministers of this world, the Erev Rav, that take the shefa first while Israel's in Galus, and then give it to the Jews later, which is very similar to what we're saying with the angels. They take for themselves, then they give it to the souls. Whereas the rectified world, everyone gets it at one time what they're supposed to get. So the angels in Yetzirah are getting the shefa from Bria, connected to Malchus, basically from the base of Mikdash. They get that shefa. And we don't know what the currency is in Yetzirah. But somehow when they give, and then how they give the shefa to the Asiya, we don't know. So the world of Yetzirah is very shrouded in mystery. We don't know how they get it, and we don't know how they give it. Let's go. Keep going.
For if they did not receive, what would they have to give?
Wait a minute. Ki im lo yikablehu me'ein yitnu lehem. What's it? Ki im lo yikablehu me'ein yitnu. What does that mean? Me'ein yitnu. Ki im lo yikablehu me'ein yitnu. It's a weird word. Will give to them. How would we give it? So yeah, he relies on Yetzirah. Okay, go ahead.
If you are familiar with the ways of wisdom, you will see that even though I have divided these areas into three, they are actually
four. Go ahead.
The main temple building, the upper courtyard, the lower courtyard, and the Temple Mount.
So that's actually a mashal. I think the Temple Mount, he wants to say that is the Temple Mount. That's a Sia. So Yazara, Hechel Upanimi Aleph. That's Malchus. Azar Elyona base for Tachtona Gimel. Half. Hechel Upanimi. Azar Elyona Tachtona V'Harbais. So yeah, so it's the lower Azara where it's delivered to the Harbais. Go ahead.
These are the places of the inhabitants of the four worlds.
Say where's Coffin? There you go. Keep going.
Atsilas, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya.
Keep going.
The temple building, place of the souls, corresponds Atsilis. The inner courtyard, place of the captains of the angels, corresponds to Bria. The outer courtyard, place of the angelic host, corresponds to Yetzirah.
Well, I think he added all that himself, I think. Yeah, forget that. Keep going.
Okay. In addition, the temple building is divided into two.
The base. Go ahead.
For within the Heichel proper,
Advir. Right, okay.
well, the Devir is the Holy of Holies,
Yeah.
corresponding to the cusp of the Yud,
Vahu Kotso Shel Yud. Mechaber Ima Yud. Tamid. V'lo Yazuz Memena.
which is always connected to the Yud and never moves from it.
It's actually interesting. I was reading something on Shabbos. You know, it was talking about Adam and Eve and a lot of things. You know, what I realized was, without getting graphic, the essential parts of male female. I think that's representative of the thorn of the Yud. I mean, bodies are typically, I think, souls. Are asexual, and I think the maleness and femaleness are grafted on.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. I think spiritually speaking, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not an essential part of what's, the guf, the body, the garment of the soul, you know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. It's called hirchav, grafted, or like grafted on. And that's what he's talking about with the thorn of the Yud. Go ahead.
These places have the greatest, choicest names.
Va'al kain nimsu shemus l'makaymis ha'ela. Go ahead.
They are general names.
Shemus gedolim m'chuvrim. Go ahead. Shemus kolim. Go ahead.
In the face of these names, all the other powerful, awesome names are hidden away.
Shelifneihem nischasu kol shara shemus atzumim v'hanoirim.
As if they never existed.
V'hilifneihem kologayu.
Because of the great holiness of these names,
Kilarov kedosha sam v'yechulasam lo nimsa gvul v'tachos.
all existence is bound to them from beginning to end.
V'yos kol hametzias nikshar behem barosh v'ad sof.
These are the four expansions of the tetragrammaton known to the sages.
V'hem daled miloi tetragrammaton. Just kidding. Just kidding. I never know what the tetragrammaton is. V'hem daled miloi havaya anadoyim lechachamim av sag man ban.
There's a lot of brackets in here that he added in. I don't know where it picks up.
Therefore, I said above in the introduction.
Okay, I'll skip to that. This is why I said in the introduction that in these places no other name is seen besides these four.
Wait, so go back. How did he transition to names here?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it. We just
Heichel atzmo od v'nechalak lebeis ki lifnim heichel hadvir v'hu kutso shel yud bechaber im hayud tami v'lo yazuz v'meina. Therefore nimsa'u shemus shemot u'makomot ha'ele shemot gedolim v'mechuvrim shemus kololim. Al kain nimsa'u shemus. Therefore we find shemus l'makomot. Because it's like the essence of the name is in the Holy of Holies, right? It's like the Yud. The temple is like the Yud and the thorn of the Yud. So therefore, it comes out names to these places, names their great names join, and they're joined mechubrim. Like that's the fractal. The Yud and the thorn is the fractal, right? So Sharni Zatumi, and these names are greater than all other names. And they have no limit. And so that's Av, Sag, Ma, and Ban. Right? Yud K, Vav K spelled in those ways. Go ahead. After I explain you above, go ahead.
Did we go through, this is why I said in the introduction?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that in these places no other name is seen besides these four.
Okay, go ahead.
All the other names emerge from these four names to
Ki
mean in their own particular places.
kol shar hashemis me'elahem yotzim v'shaltu b'makomam b'miyuchad lehem. Go ahead.
But they cannot hold sway in the place where their roots are so powerful.
What does that mean? Like ki kol shemus me'elahem yotzim v'shaltu b'makomam b'miyuchad lehem v'lo yachol lishlut b'makom shesharasham. What? How's that last part go? Ki kol shar shemus me'elahem yotzim v'shaltu b'makomam b'miyuchad lehem. Read the last part. They're not able to rule in a place.
They cannot hold sway in the place where their roots are so powerful.
Ah, these four names are the roots. So Av, Sagman, Ban are the essence of the four names coming out of the Holy of Holies. Okay, Nimso Shemus Lamakomos Elo Shemus Kadol Mechaber Shemus Kolim Shalom Kolim Ki Lorov Kedusha Sam Yecholim Lo Nimso Gavul. Wait a minute. The Haim Dalim Mi Lo. Wait a minute. Therefore, Nimso Shemus Lamakomot Ela Shemus. So it's four names. That makes sense, I guess. Four worlds rooted in the Holy Holies. Okay. Go ahead and start the next paragraph.
Why the dimensions of the third temple differ from those of the first and the second, the two roots of creation.
Okay.
Now I will explain to you why the future temple will be different from the first and the second.
Go ahead.
This is no empty matter. Pay careful attention and make every effort to follow. There are certain important points that you must understand first.
Ki hakadmos gedolus atat tzarich ledaber zeva v'netiv. Go ahead.
It is written, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The sages commented that the letter base in the word Bereshis also has a connotation of two, this being the numerical value of the letter base.
Keep on.
The word Bereshis thus indicates two beginnings.
Wait. Where is he? Where is he going with this? What am I saying? Let's see. Where is he going? The sages call the letter base where Bereshis has a connotation of two. Bereshis. No, he didn't really. Start over from Bereshis Bar Lakim.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The sages commented that the letter base in the word Bereshis also has a connotation of two, this being the numerical value of the letter base. The word Bereshis thus indicates two beginnings.
Yeah, mine says the sages said Bereshit Beit Reshit. Two beginnings. Go ahead.
You must grasp this great fundamental in order to understand things clearly and know the meaning of the idea of the tikkun of the world.
I'm not too impressed. V'zeh ikar gadol v'rav b'sitrei habriya. That's a heavy statement.
That sounds a lot heavier than what
V'zeh ikar gadol v'rav. So v'zeh ikar, like this is v'zeh ikar. Like this is what great and powerful means in terms of the secrets of creation. Go ahead. Das es dvarim al boirim. Yeah, he's right. That's exactly that. That's it. To know things on their essence. So it's Beit Reshis is how you know things at their essence. Remember I told you the base of Mitish is the essence of things like that? So that's what that is. But let's back up 1 second. What does it mean, mishpat? We never answered that. Mishpate. First, mishpate. Mishpate abayit. Mishpate. I'm going to hold that in thought yet. I don't think we've answered it yet. Keep going.
Okay. When the Creator, blessed be He, decided places with
Wait,
regards.
wait. V'tikun ha'olam ma tikun. Das es hadvarim alborim v'tikun ha'olam ma tikun. What does that mean? B'sitre habriya ladas es hadvarim alborim v'tikun ha'olam ma tikun. Tikun ha'olam. Yeah, it's the way things are set up and function. Like, what is the function of these things? Go ahead. And when it went up in His will, the Creator, the Emanator Baruch Hu, to create this world. Go ahead.
He set the lights in their proper places.
Haya ma'amid es ha'ma'oros al machuneim.
Arranging all the different orders of creation in His wisdom.
The hamashmaros al ma'amdim v'seder kol sadarim v'chochmaso. So God. So when God keeps creation going, He lifts creation, basically all the sfirot, to His wisdom, to Chachma. And there, it's private. There's no sitra achra there. And He orders everything. He reviews creation. He lifts everything by its essence. So it's ultra powerful. Go ahead.
This wisdom was exalted above all His other works.
And this wisdom, the chachma, and the wisdom is extremely lofty over all of His works. So He created things, and then He created wisdom for the things. That parallels the Holy of Holies. So it's not that things are. Remember, how they say that God created the number 2. There's no such thing as 2. So right, so you can't say, because otherwise you say there's parts to God, right? What God has done was He created things. And there's a wisdom of the things. So it's like that thorn of the Yud and the Yud. So therefore, he is in total control of the things. Go ahead.
Upon this wisdom, everything depends.
And all of them are held and stand on that. Go ahead.
This wisdom is signified by the Yud, of His glorious awesome name.
I'm not too bad, huh? So that's why God can. That's why this is called Maisa Bereshis. See, there's a guy in the world that looks like Malcolm, and God created a wisdom that He dictates goes to Malcolm. God can change that wisdom whenever He wants. You are not. You don't have a right to exist. You are literally just an image. You are made in the image of God. But the wisdom of you, God decides. That's what we say every morning when you wake up. Thank you for returning my soul and my body, right? God can make you whatever He wants. You are not really you. It's like the thorn of the Yud and the Yud. This probably explains how there can be miracles and change of mazel. Go ahead.
But above wisdom is found another beginning that is wholly concealed. And
from above that wisdom, it's found another reshit, which is totally concealed. Deep, who will find it? Go ahead.
This is what gives wisdom its power and strength.
Hu hanoten la koach, doesn't say that. Hu hanoten la koach la asot chayil. It's what gives it power to make vigor.
I like that.
Go ahead.
Because of its intense holiness.
And because of its strength in its holiness.
This higher beginning is totally hidden within wisdom.
It is nister. It is hidden within wisdom. You see the fractal? Just like Dar is hidden in Malchus,
Yeah.
Kesser is hidden in wisdom.
Oh, right.
Right?
That's good.
Yeah.
And completely invisible from the outside.
See, it's a perfect fractal. Go ahead.
When all the ministers and officers who receive from the king see that they all receive from wisdom, they say, surely this is the beginning of everything. This is the source that never ceases. For this reason, wisdom is called the beginning.
So, Chachma is called, or Malchus is called Chachma Tita, the lower wisdom. So it sounds like people are aware of that wisdom, but they're not aware of the Keter, the Dar. Go ahead.
But included within wisdom is this other higher beginning. There is no separation between the two.
Right. That's why the other stone is called Sachar in Keter, according to Bahir.
Right, you have Sachar and Dar.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Everything brought about by wisdom derives from this higher beginning. And it is from here that wisdom receives its orders.
Wait a minute. Achareshi Sachar Nichlal Ba, Vihi Lo Nevdelos Memenu Klal, V'kol Maise Memenu, V'kol Sidre Memenu, Nitnu. Read that again.
Everything brought about by wisdom derives from this higher beginning. And it is from here that wisdom receives its orders.
That's not what he says at all. He doesn't even mention the word wisdom. Achareshi Sa'acher Nichlal Ba, Vehi Lo Nivdelet Mimenu Klal, V'kol Maise Mimenu. Everything happens really from that. V'kol Sidre Mimenu Nitnula. And every order from it is given to her. So what it is I guess it's, I don't know. Keep going.
There is nothing in the world that wisdom brings about that does not derive from this other beginning.
V'lo nimsa davar ba'olam shetase chochma shelo agia leia min hareshis hazeh. Right, this is called chochma stima. It's the wisdom that tells the wisdom what to do. So like chesed needs wisdom to tell it how to be chesed. So therefore there's a wisdom of chesed, and then the wisdom of chesed needs wisdom to tell it how to continue being that. So, did I ever tell you the progression of how that happens? Let's see if you can figure it out. Ready? Look for your social cue. You ready? Tell him he's a truck driver. You're a truck driver.
I'm a truck driver.
There you go. That's how. Yeah, go ahead.
Signified by the cusp of the yud.
There, exactly. There you go.
You will find that the cusp is never separated from the yud, nor the yud from the cusp.
So that's the answer. Exactly this. This solves the biggest question in the world. How is it that I'm one with God, but yet I believe in myself? Because you think the thorn of the yud is yours. It isn't. God has. So I don't know how it is. He creates you. I mean, God is the creator. He can do what he wants, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can make a program myself. I can make a creation myself, theoretically, right?
Right.
So I made a computer program, and it's a golem. It's nothing. So when I program the golem thinks that it is me, but it's not.
Right.
So the chiddush of God is, how does God get? What is the golem? That's the question. Why does the golem have the ability to think that he is God? Without thinking he's God, he thinks it's him. You know what I'm saying? Why does why does the golem become self-conscious with God consciousness? I mean,
It's like we've inverted the yud. Like we want the kush yud.
right? You're exactly. You're taking possession of the yud. It's like maybe is it the Sitra Achra in you? You know, we have like we're very straight. Yeah, I think so. That makes a lot of sense.
It does, yeah.
Because the thing about it, if God is God, he's the creator. And King David talks about the right and left arms of God.
Right.
If God creates the thorn of the yud, let's call that purely good. And I am an animal because I'm a body. So the animal is just a creation by God. And the animal is God acting like an animal, you know, God emanating the animal to possess the thorn of the yud. So what you have is the animal thinking the thorn is his.
Right.
God then manipulates the animal according to his will. But it doesn't negate free will. I mean, for example, does Reuven have free will? I can well technically, but I can trick him in anything I want.
Right. So you can manipulate.
Yeah, if I say do you want we go by a toy store, I say, does anybody want a toy? His program is yeah. And I let him I gave him that. What was the answer gonna be no?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So now he received code. I gave him like a treat. And I did. And now he's gonna run wild with my thorn of my yud. But he has no money. You know, because he's an animal. So he's limited to what I decide, you know, what the next step is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now he thinks that he has the toy. It's my toy. I buy it. I own it. It's my toy. He thinks it's his. So he takes ownership of the yud. But really, the yud was manipulating the kid.
Right.
There's really nothing in his brain that I don't know when it comes to that toy. Does anybody want a toy? Ani. That's all he knows. He's not thinking like, well, Dad, how does the stock market have to do with the price of this toy that was made in China? He's only saying me. And he thinks that I'm saying you. But he's not. I'm not. I am completely manipulating this kid. I know exactly what he's thinking. So then as we mature, we believe that we moved on from the toy. But ultimately, you are a created being that is lesser developed than the higher being, which is the yud, the thorn of the yud. So your body is behind your brain. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
And so your body is like a puppet, God's puppet. And it cooperates. That's why they give the analogy God has two arms, right? The puppet is working with a higher puppet. So God makes a creation of the puppets and the puppet master. And because they're not equal, we're able to believe that we are the higher puppet, and technically we are, but we are we're there. There's a lag because we are the lower, lesser puppet,
Right.
and see, this is the idea of the Vilna Gaon Kabbalah, is that there's two that are really one, right? I am Hashem your God, you should have no other gods. Right? From the mouth of God we heard two, which is the essence of Shema. In the end, it's just one. It's there's only God, there's no one here but God.
Right, and that's why he's saying there's two again.
Right. It's right. We are the enclothement, if that's a word, to the lower beginning, and probably the whole angelic structure is the higher one, and then we receive from that. So we are God. We are garments of God that He creates. It's a creation of a lower level, and He has a higher creation that gives to the lower creation. This is what King David says: we are the right hand of God, and the angelic world, Yitzchak, is the left hand of God. All right, so where did we get to? Let's just finish this paragraph. Wait a minute. Where did we get to? Wait. Velo nimsa devar. Velo. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Velo and timsa. We don't find the difference of the thorn. Yeah.
Thus, all things have a beginning, and in addition, there is the beginning of the beginning.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let me see here. Velo timsa shenivdel hakutz min hayud, velo yud min hakutz leolam. See, that's why you're confused. Because God makes a marriage of the left and right arms. It's a yichud. So you've never experienced life without the angel. It's almost like if you're born with a condition. You see? That's why you come from nothing, from a drop. Because you're born with a condition. It's called a brain condition. And then God made you an animal. So that the animal grew up believing that it had a brain. And then God matures the animal. But you began to believe that you own your brain. And your body will never figure out, or your body will never separate from its brain. The most you could do is come to be like Moses with prophecy, that you recognize it's that you are an animal. Your animal realizes the prophetic brain. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be God consciousness, where you are aware in perfect synchronicity that you are a body of an animal. And the brain, the thorn, is nothing to do with you whatsoever. But you would have to, but see, you know how like cameras have built-in hard drives?
Yeah.
Your body has intelligence. So you have to know exactly how dumb you are. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're given free loan this amazing brain. So you would have to literally, and this is what the temple is coming to say. The temple gives you that realization, right? But you would have to know exactly your intelligence of what is yours versus what God gives you through divine providence. And then you make a perfect yichud in yourself. And it comes out, L'kol advarim reishis echad, va'od reishis l'reishis, v'zehu beis reishis shemarti l'mala. All right, so we'll stop there.
Okay.
So that's, what is this saying? That's explaining creation. So we understand with Chachma and Keter, basically, Malchus and Malchus with the stone, or Malchus with Keter, the Holy of Holies in the Heichel, God, it's duality. It's the secret of duality.
Right.
Duality is just that it's a higher level and a lower level. That's why you said the upper chamber, lower chamber.
Right, but it's still singular.
Right. So it's all fractal. So I would say the Mishpate Habayit. I would say, yeah. I would say the Mishpate Habayit is everything has to be perfect and exact to differentiate between Chachma and Kesser.
I like that.
All right, so we'll make a note and tell me next time to start with the first words of page 155.
155.
Yeah, the very top first words.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so good to see